What's going on, guys? Welcome to another episode of Smash JT. Jirard the Completionist and his family have finally made that $600,000 donation from the Open Hand Foundation to the AFTD, the Association for Frontotemporal Degeneration. And they've even put a press release out for it, letting everyone know that the $600,000 donation has officially been made. And I know there's going to be some hardcore supporters of Jirard the Completionist because they're big fans of him. They want to support him along the way and say, look, all is forgiven. He did it. He donated it. Yeah, he made some mistakes and some past transgressions and there were problems and sure, everyone screws up every once in a while, but it happened. He made the donation, so everyone who said anything about him is wrong and now you look dumb. I know that's coming. And let me tell you, this is just a veil over the lies that were created for the entire thing. There are a tremendous amount of questions that come out of this situation, most of all being the latest thing of the golf charity that was run. What happened to all the money in that from 2019 onward? How come they were misreporting, allegedly, hundreds of thousands of dollars combined, when at the end of the day, all they ended up doing was making a donation of $600,000, which, by the way, that's not even the total amount that they had in the account. That's a portion of it. From their official numbers with the IRS, it was closer to $655,000. But let's take that for what it's worth. At least he did something right here to turn the ship and try to steer it in a better direction. But by no means does this absolve him or his family of any wrongdoing. New to the channel, hit that subscribe, give me a like, and check out smashjt.com for the article breaking down this $600,000 donation to the AFTD, Association for Frontotemporal Degeneration. One of the organizations I believe I mentioned when I was talking about the plethora of organizations you could donate to. It took them nearly a decade, actually, quick math, it might have been over a decade, right around 10 years of acquiring money, gathering funds, telling people that they're taking donations for specific things, only to end of the day put it in a bank account to let it sit, lose money, lose value of inflation, lose value of precious amounts of research that could have been done. So many things that were misguided with this entire situation. And yes, they finally made their donation, but it begs so many more questions. I want to give Jirard and his family the benefit of the doubt. I really do. I do. I know there's going to be a lot of people be like, oh, and why you got this tone of your video? It's like, well, I just have all the information in front of me, and while yes, this is a good step in the right direction, by no means does it absolve the problems and mistakes they've made along the way. First off, why did it take nearly 2 weeks to make a donation if this money is sitting in your account after 10 years of doing nothing? It's almost like you got your hand caught in the cookie jar, red-handed, and you're like, oh crap, yeah, we're gonna do something with that money. We gotta give it to someone, don't worry. It's like, what happens if Carl Jobst and Muda, some ordinary gamers, didn't get the tip off about this tax thing and they didn't look into it any further? What would Open Hand Foundation be doing? The same damn thing they've been doing for the past decade. Nothing would have changed at all. So thankfully these YouTubers brought it to light, brought attention to it, put the spotlight on Jirard, and made him act, made his family do something with this money. Ironically, that's assuming that this money that they donated is the same money that was what they've acquired over the years. And while I don't have any proof and I don't want to conjecture or anything like that, there's nothing definitive to say, oh yes, all that money we raised was just sitting in this account the whole time. Who knows what it could actually be from? I'd like to think that that's the case. It's just really hard to believe when you look at all the evidence presented and say, yeah, they just really were just dumb about everything and just raised money for 10 years and just let it sit in an account. That doesn't make any sense at all. But anyways, like I said, I don't want to try to guess where the money came from. End of the day, I'm not going to be the lawyer or anything like that. And the $600,000 of the 655 plus that they've raised was donated to a cause in the area that they promised everyone over the past decade that they've been doing all along the way to other places, finally got somewhere. So that's all well and good, right? The problem's solved. We can move on with our lives. No, not necessarily. I got a couple real big questions that come out of this. One, if Jirard lawyered up right away, that means to me that he knew that he could be in serious trouble. Instead of just playing dumb and being like, oh, whoops, yeah, let me make a YouTube video, tell everyone exactly what happened so that I don't lose my credibility, so that people know I'm an authentic human being that stands by my word. No, he clammed up, silenced, said nothing, lawyered up, most likely, and they told him don't say anything because it's going to incriminate you more. And it made people look into the situation even deeper, and it brought up even more questions. Carl Jobs' latest video talking about the golf charity, Muda diving even more deeper into the numbers, they just don't add up. Now, there is a way that it could, I don't want to just say he's completely guilty, it could theoretically add up if, per se, the golf charity event didn't run because of the pandemic for the 2019, 2020, 2021 years, and it's in California. Maybe they just didn't put it on. But according to Carl Jobs in his video, they did. And they had the sponsors, just like they did every year. So while I'd like to think that was what happened, according to what we have, it doesn't look like that's the case. And if that's to be believed, that means that the money that they raised was not reported. And that's concerning, especially in conjunction with the years prior, 2018, 2017, where they were making $45,000, $60,000 from the golf charity event, and it goes down to $15,000 and then nothing. It just doesn't add up. So while they did finally do the right thing and donate the $600,000 to a charity in the name that this foundation said they would all along the way, it doesn't answer the questions of what the hell happened to the money from the golf raising charity. It doesn't answer the questions of what happened to all the bits, the subs, the donations that literally, even when Muda was saying it's the lowest numbers he even put together, it still comes nowhere close to the ballpark of what they actually noted down on their tax reports. And that's a big problem. And here's the craziest thing about all of it. If they didn't get caught with that weird tax thing where they didn't donate anything, nobody would have looked deeper into this. Nobody would have even seen these numbers or thought anything wrong was happening. But because there was a questionable reporting with decade long of raising funds, promising your viewers that you're donating everything along the way to UCSF and a whole handful of other foundations that Jirard names in his live streams, you promised your viewers that it was going to those places. You lied to them straight up, which, as Muda said, does constitute fraud in the eyes of the law. Reading the letter of what charity fraud is.
It's obviously a very important cause. I could talk today, near and dear to my heart. I was 10 years old when my mom got dementia, and it's been a journey for me and my family. And so this cause is obviously very personal, and that's why we're here today. Bits, donations, subs, buy the shirt, buy the coin, buy indie games, all that stuff. All of it is going to the benefit of helping others for this charity event.
Nothing adds up with anything else that got found out about this. So yes, it's a good first step, but by no means does it absolve Jirard. He's got a lot of questions to be answering right now. He needs to make a video telling people exactly what happened, how he screwed up, and why the numbers look as off as they do. And the fact that he remained silent through all of this without so much as an apology for screwing up to everybody is just crazy to me. It's like, this guy spent how many years building up his brand just to let it all fall apart because of this thing. And it's so gross. It's so unfortunate. And I hope people don't see this headline as oh, okay, everything's fine. Those YouTubers were blowing it out of proportion like they always do. No, this is still a huge deal. There's a lot of questions that still need to be answered. Jirard and his entire family and everyone involved with this Open Hand Foundation better make sure that every T is crossed, every I is dotted, and every single penny is accounted for. Because if it's not, they're still screwed. I got a feeling we're not even halfway through what is seeming to be the craziest story of 2023. I'm going to leave it there. Thank you guys so much for watching. And as always, you stay smashing.